We have to talk. My God, I'll never forget how much I shuddered when I heard that from my girlfriend when I was going to Berklee College of Music. And we would talk for 2 hours. And I always was more confused at the end of that time than at the beginning. The woman I tried to marry got an annulment, so I'm technically a single man, not a divorcee. She also did the same thing. And why is it that these women both did it on Sunday? And why was it that after 2 or 2.5 hours, nothing was clarified? If anything, the waters were muddied even further. Yes, they were both abusive. They tried to control me. Now, I had a mentor, and he told me his definition of abuse was trying to control another person. So I like that. So I think I need to actually immortalize that. My definition of abuse is trying to control another person. That's all. And when I heard that, I didn't realize the profound depth that there was to it. Now, there was a bit of confidentiality in that relationship, and so I'm not going to share that with you. I'm sure he's passed away. He was much older than I was. And now I'm the old man, and I only have so much time left. This is a pretty good cup of coffee that I have. I like mine all. I like to use a particular word, but I'm not going to say it because I don't like offending blacks. But I put everything in this but flavoring, and I would put the flavoring in here if I could get a good source of it. Come here. Come on. No. Oh, she went in her kennel. She knows she did wrong. Come here. Come on. Oh, yes. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. I know you went for the shoe. Yes, I know. Okay. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Go find your bone. Don't look at my shoes. Damn. Go find the bone. Let's see if she shows up. Come here. Where's your bone? Go find the bone. Where is your bone? Go find a bone. She's so intelligent, and as you can see, it's not quite baby talk. It's more like adult talk 101. Alexander the Great had a magnificent dog that was his constant companion and saved his life. I'm sure he saved that dog's life as well. He had a magnificent hound that was in battle with him all the time, always with him. They fought together. Where's your bone? Go find the bone. She probably left it outside. She likes to carry it around. She's so proud of it. We need to talk, though. We need to talk about current events and what's going on right now. And it is the 16th of October. In case you're wondering, I do not approve of what Trump is doing. And I want him to be president compared to Kamala, the bad one, the evil one, the curse upon the earth, with her vice president. And it's amazing that here we have vice president candidate Tim Walz's child rape victim comes forward. There's a lot more victims out there, folks, and the Republicans have victims as well. You need to understand something. These Satans, the synagogue of Satan that runs the place, owns the place, they get people doing this stuff all over the place. So in case you're wondering, yes, it is deteriorating. It is an organized deterioration, and you're not going to be able to stop it. Okay? You're not going to be able to stop it. That's all there is to it. But you can take a stand. You can stand your ground. That's what the Messiah told us to do. He gave us 2-part warning. It's twice in the Bible. The first is, be not deceived. And the problem is, and I was out at the bar at the park, Bark Park, with a veteran, and he was telling me he knew what happened overseas. He knew the truth, and that the American people have no idea as to the sacrifices that were made so that we would be safe. And the real problem is he has no idea how much the whole thing's been manipulated. How we are being misused, how we've been misused. And America, I think, stands at the crossroads. We are at the precipice. And I'm hoping that we are willing to step out in faith, with courage, because that's what it's going to take to get this baby back. Or should I say, for America to fulfill its destiny. America was originally planned, and my ancestor over in Great Britain was one of the planners, one of the architects. And I'm not happy about that, because I don't think he was a good guy. And the purpose of setting up the Americas was to create this mighty military arm for the new world, or actually it's the old world order. I know you call it the new world order, but it's really the old guys still here, still tossing their weight around. They've survived several Earth ages, by my estimation. And so you and I, we've been misused, we've been controlled, we've been abused. And these guys have done we're not just now starting to hear the truth about what happened in Southeast Asia. And I'd love to heap accolades upon our boys, our men, for doing what they did. But the fact is, they were misused. And right now, America, they stole our money. They took away our wealth. We had a monetary system built upon a storage of wealth. So we weren't debtors at all. And they had to put an end to that. So they went after us, and they stole it all. So it's a big fraud, bunch of frauds, and there's no statute of limitations on fraud. And I think that if we could start from the ground up, that's the way to go. This is not going to be trickle down. There's no trickle down in a world that works. Don't expect them to do it for you. Now, the mint can produce the coins. That's all they can do. But usually, in case you're wondering, it wasn't their silver or their gold. They took the mint, the gold, the materials the miners provided them, refined it, and stamped it out. And there was a little bit of flash left out from wherever they stamped a sheet of coins. And that little flash of metal was what the mint accepted in payment for having minted those coins. That's how it worked. That was one of the major income routes for the central government, was through the treasury, through the mint, through this. It begins with an S, and I don't want to say subterfuge. It sounds like that, but it's not subterfuge. So there's a specific name to it, and I think the people that would be able to remind me of that are probably all passed away, except one fellow. I got a big brother who tried to call me this morning. I wasn't awake. Usually I'm awake when he calls, but I woke up in the middle of the night and did that wonderful video for you. Yes, I think it's a wonderful video. The study of the soul. That's what psychology is. They lie about everything, and they deceive you about everything. If they have a choice between telling the truth that seems to be harmless and doesn't amount to anything, and lying to you, they will lie to you to keep you off center and off balance, because after all, we are the fish, they are the predators. They want to keep us off balance. That's why our science is so screwed up. That's why all of our history books are screwed up. That's why even the Bible has got little landmines in there that they tossed in there to take us off track, to derail us. I'm going to probably be taking a break from making videos. I have my own battles to take care of. I've been under too much stress and too much strain, and I got a lot of work to do on this rig, and I have a lot of work to do on my own estate. If I can get an nest egg together, I found some good people to work with that will take good care of me, and I'll pay them handsomely, lavishly, so that they take good care of me. I have for a long time, I've developed the adage, the value system. I don't accept free stuff. I took free stuff during the early part of my life, and man, did it cost me. Free love, that really costs a lot. Just forget about that, folks, because the institution's been destroyed. It's been destroyed by this illegal system. I say it's illegal because it's against the 13th Amendment, the original 13th Amendment, this law of the land. And you and I have to rise above it and become masters of the law ourselves. It's the only way out of the trap they have set for us. And these legal jackasses defend the system so that we can't get any justice. Forget about justice. They don't want justice. They don't care about it. Matter of fact, I'm putting an affidavit in the mail today about some crimes that were committed in a courtroom. And we already know they're not going to give a damn. And hopefully, my dad had a practice, and I highly recommend it. If you are in a jurisdiction in which you vote for your judges, vote them all out. Not that you're going to succeed, because most people are dumbasses. They're going to just vote them in. So vote them out. Let them make it a protest vote, because they're not working right. They shouldn't even be working, to be honest with you, because the 13th Amendment stripped the Bar Association lawyers, the attorneys for the Bar Association, of any and all citizenship. It did more than that. Go look it up for yourself. I got my copy from the state of New Hampshire, from the Secretary of State. Man, the handwriting was so impeccable and so ornate, I couldn't read it. I'd email her back and say, hey, would you mind typing that up for me? She says, oh, she didn't mind at all, because she said most people couldn't read it. That is how we devolve. I can't write like that. Heck no, I'm impaired. And I'm supposed to be brighter than your average bulb. I'm supposed to be sharper than your average knife. No, I have tenacity. That's what I have, and my mother did. She pointed that out. My tenacity. I just didn't give up. That's what the girls in college were worried about, because they said, don't challenge him. Don't tempt him. Don't put him up to something. Don't whatever, because he's crazy and he'll do it. I was the guy that took the steps two steps at a time to build my leg muscles up. I was the guy that when people said they didn't know how to do something, I'd go and figure it out and do it. Like Bing Crosby's Oscar at Gonzaga University, and the police officer wrote in the newspaper's report, whoever did this took apart the display and put it back together because they didn't disturb anything. Lorraine, you're a good girl. Where's your bone? Go find your bone. Where's your bone? Go find your bone. She had it yesterday. I think she took it in the car and dropped it between the seats. Anyway, what did I do? I was sick. My mother would not allow me to stay home like was recommended. I had mononucleosis. And I was told if I didn't rest a lot, I wasn't going to get better. I ended up having mono for about a full year because my mother rode my ass and was not going to let me get away with anything. It wasn't until months later she realized, because I was sick for a full year, she realized that she'd made a mistake. Why? Well, I was home and I'd go skiing and I'd go to bed. I was home for Christmas break between semesters. And I'd go up in Arctic Valley, ski, and come home and I'd sleep. Thinking I'd get up and go skiing again. She thought that was the life of Riley. Well, that was back when the fellows in those half tracks would take us up the road with chains, and that must have been a good job for the soldiers that did that. And we got up, and it was Arctic Valley was a rough place to ski. I learned, I'm an ice skier. I learned how to ski on ice. That's what Arctic Valley was. So yeah, I know how to put the edges in all right, but I wasn't a pretty skier or a good skier. I mean, most of my friends were so athletic and so good. And I remember the tall Pierce boy, man, could he ski? Whew. Me, I was just happy if I could get down the hill without being on my hands and knees and falling down all that much. And we had wooden skis, leather boots, and odd kinds of bindings, and we had tow ropes and the pommel lift or whatever it was. We had these things that are antiquated today. But the mountain air was wonderfully fresh, and the view was wonderful. I love doing that. We have a problem. We've all been deceived. We are in the middle of a grand deception, the biggest deception and the biggest show ever. They're putting on a good show. That's what Washington, D.C. is. It's just the fanciest circus you could ever have. Yeah, the conservative circus. The master of the conservative circus. That's what I heard his producer calling him this morning, the master, which is kind of cool because James is a black man. And if anybody has levity and can play the race card and can call people out for their whatever bullshit, it's him. And he's able to make light of things. Thank God for that. And he's coming around. He's not quite ready to understand the truth that's in the Bible, not like you and I are. So the fact is that we have been misled and we have been misused, and the United States is the military arm, the enforcers for these world order people. This is the old world order. It's not a new world order. And then, in case you're wondering, the financial arm for it is in the Crown, the city of London, which is like 1.5 miles square in the middle of London itself proper. But again, it's a separate kingdom unto itself, a separate jurisdiction, just like Washington, D.C. is a separate jurisdiction. And of course, the laws, the brains behind the whole thing, the big dog, he's over down in the Vatican. Yeah, canon law, Roman law. With the 8 families that run the earth today. And they run it for this group of women. That's right. And who's at the middle of it, the head of it? The Queen of Heaven. You need to understand something. You've been deported in place. You're not in America anymore. This is one of the fraudulent schemes that they pulled on us. One of the 4 corporations called the United States of America that they pulled on us to superimpose a foreign jurisdiction of admiralty law, marine law on us. And in case you're wondering, that came from the Pacific Ocean, Polynesia, which is where the Phoenicians came from. And they were the masters of the oceans. They developed that law. They developed the alphabet that the Hebrews borrowed. It's the same group of son of a bitches that survived through each earth age. The earth is growing. She's getting ready to go through birth pains. That's right. She's in labor right now. And the electromagnetic field, the gravitational field, they're all shifting, getting weaker and shifting around. And the earth has got a few layers in it, and there's a middle layer in there of that becomes like liquid, like oil at some point. And it lubricates the mantle and the crust so that things shift drastically. We're coming into one of those periods. Look, it's my job to get this across to you. It's my job to train you. I was commissioned in a vision and a dream, and it was a kind of a sideways, backwards commission. Over, under, sideways, down. Sounds like we should make a song out of that. Yes, there was a fellow from the future who showed up in my dream, and he told me some things. Unfortunately, I didn't get the full story, so I've still depended on Yahweh. Don't worry, I'm not going to be taking over. I'm not going to be ruling this place or running this place. I'm not going to be El Presidente. I announced that I was running for president a while ago. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek. Was it Paulson? Patrick Paulson ran for president. And that was kind of tongue-in-cheek. Wish I was better with names. But we have been warned by so many people about what was coming down and what the world was really about. And we've ignored it all. That's the problem. And they want to reduce us to barbarism. That's right. They want us doing as much bloodletting as possible as a sacrifice to their gods of war and all the other stuff in their pantheon. And to feed their underworld at the bottom of the sea, the bottom of the oceans. Fertilizer for new life. The Bible's got so many locks on it that when I get to one area, I'm amazed. I think, man, I got it sussed, man. I understand this shit. I'm something. Bullshit. I just know a little bit. I don't know how to integrate it. I don't know how to apply it. And I know that there's some underpinnings to it that are even more disturbing. When you get to my level of consciousness, it can be cozy, but it's quite unsettling because you have to acknowledge that there's more that you do not know than what you know. That's why we were supposed to be in a relationship with Yahweh. Israel, he who rules with God, not against God. We're supposed to do it under his guidance. We're supposed to do his will. Since he knows what's best, it is the greater good, the greater will. And even Yeshua, our role model, set the example for us. I do nothing without my Father's will. I do nothing outside of my Father's will. He does what the Father commands him. He set the stage. He set the example. I don't want to be crucified. I don't want to follow that example. But we have to die to ourselves daily. And that's where the preterists have the advantage over the rest of Christianity, churchianity, because they know that it's lived in the present and salvation is here to stay. It's here now. And we have to turn to Yahweh once again for salvation, especially in America. You have no choice. You made a deal. I don't think it was with the devil. It was with Yahweh. He spelled it out. He set the terms. He actually paid the price too. That's what gets me. Yeah. This sacrifice of the Son is a theme that runs throughout history and throughout the Bible. You did not withhold your only Son from me, so I'm not going to withhold my only Son from you. That's kind of what the message was. So, who was it that went up on Mount Moriah? And who was it that took the knife and was about to sacrifice his eldest son? When he was stopped and a ram was provided, the ram's horns were caught in the bushes, and he sacrificed the ram, and his son woke up and realized, my God, my dad was about to sacrifice me. Wow. Talk about faith. Isaac, his only son. Isaac, meaning laughter. And what did Mount Moriah become? Well, it became a place where the Jebusites lived in what became Jerusalem. And David stormed that and conquered that and got that. And the first temple was built up there. It was the threshing floor. Aruna, when you read, you don't always pronounce the words. So I should read the Bible aloud a little bit more. But Aruna, I think, was his name. It was his threshing floor, which David bought from Aruna. And he refused to pay him he refused to make a deal. He paid him full price. He wasn't going to cheat him at all. He was going to make sure he compensated him fully. And so the second temple was built there as well. And then the Romans got pissed off at the Jews and said, screw it. We're getting tired of them taking that hill because it's so hard for us to assault it. We lose too many men. It takes us too long. It costs us too much. So they excavated the entire hill, filled in one of the valleys over there. I know, you think the Wailing Wall is the temple wall. It's the wall of Fort Antonio. Yes, it is. Like I said, you've been deceived. Bunch of frauds. Go to Bible. Go to church. Instead of going to the Bible, let somebody else tell you what's in it and make you feel good. And especially play up to the women and tell you women good things. Cater to the women. That's always been our downfall. The women gave us Barack Obama. They got all this bullshit going for us. They also gave us temperance, or that dry period in which organized crime was able to develop and get their wealth together. And then they founded the highest organized crime of all, the predecessor to the FBI, which is organized crime. Yeah, we've been deceived. And we're still deceived. And they got two jackasses up there running for president. And if Trump was any good, he's better. We should elect him, no problem on that. But we need to hold his feet to the fire. What did the kings of Israel have to do? They had to read the book of the law every day. Wasn't that long of a book? I think we tell Trump, you better read that book of the law. I don't want him going too legalistic on us, but I want him able to rule properly with wisdom, and I want him to give up that bullshit that he's bringing to us. I don't want a police state anymore. I don't want him backing the central bankers anymore. That's the worst thing that ever happened to us. Even Woodrow Wilson lamented, saying, he was the saddest man because he had destroyed his nation, a once great nation. Even he knew he screwed up when he signed off on the act that created the Federal Reserve System. You can defend yourself. You can, I don't want to say revolt, I don't want to say rebel, but you can ignore the central government and insist on a return, a revolution, a return to self-rule. You do it by two things. Form your militias, because you're going to need them no matter what. You're not going to be able to survive. They got this anti-white sentiment going to the point where the people are going to be coming after us because we look white and pasty, and we've been made the bad guy. And you need to look at everybody who says that stuff and realize how evil and wicked they are, and that even though they look like us, they aren't us. They are not us. I know. You look at them and think, well, he's just a man. No, no, no. There's vast differences. You need to wake up to the fact that they're running the earth, and they've geared and thrown everybody else against us. And so they have us not saying a peep while they genocide our asses. And right now, white babies are less than 3% of the babies around the world are white babies. I hate the term white. Caucasian babies. Don't like that term too much either because it's named after not quite the Rocky Mountains, but the Caucasus Mountains. That's where the name came from. And I don't know about calling us Israelites because then we get confused with those Israeli bastards over there that are really the synagogue of Satan. That you guys worship them. You dumbass Zionist Christians. Worship them. Should we call ourselves Adamkind? Adamkind? There's 2 words for it in the Bible. 2 words for Adamkind in the Bible. We could say that, but not all of Adamkind are Israelites. Anyway. We've been deceived, and our men have done amazing things, and they think that they know it. Yes, they know what they've done, but they don't know really why they've done it and why they were put up to doing it. They don't understand the evil that occurs at the highest levels of our own government. They don't understand the sabotage, the high treason that our presidents like FDR did, or his relative Teddy Roosevelt did, or Woodrow Wilson, or Ronald Reagan, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Ike Eisenhower, oh yeah, Lincoln. A lot of these presidents have compromised us and sold us out. Clinton! He's the one that destroyed our industrial base. That's why we are having the economic woes we have today, and why we never will recover. And he still wanders around freely, along with who's that woman that he hangs out with? What's her name? Yeah. Trump lied. Said he was going to take care of that. He didn't take care of that. Trump lied. He was going to release the JFK assassination file. But that would have taken down the government and would have allowed us to build a proper government. So he's not going to do that. And now he's hawking his own cryptocurrency, which I'm not buying any cryptocurrency. And I certainly won't buy Trump's because he's not doing it honestly. He's not telling you how much of it in existence there is. He's not disclosing that. So he's hoodwinking all of you. He's deceiving the world. And Maria Abramovich has a lot to say about that. You should go dig up that video and see what she says about Donald Trump. I think it will shock you. It will open your eyes. And then go back to I think it's the Al Smith dinner or something that the Cardinal hosts in New York City after the election's held, in which the winner and loser attend it together, and it's a big fundraiser for the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church. Remember that. Just like our charlatan lawyers, bar association people are Romans. They don't give a shit about anybody or anything else. They got no consciences. They're predators. Oh, little bit of loving. Oh, yes. She's antsy. You're such a sweet girl. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Tail is wagging. She's happy. You're trying to give me that cold nose. Oh, you want some more? Okay, come on. She ain't gonna hesitate. She's not shy or bashful, and she sure as hell ain't dainty. Women, you need to learn your lessons from the Bible, not from me. I mean, I will call you out a little bit here or there. I will point out what's really happened, and I will tell you the bare bones truth. Eve was deceived. Eve deceived Adam. Eve did the wrong thing. And as a result, this is the fight between good and evil that we have today. Don't blame it all on the women. I know you ladies don't want responsibility. It's kryptonite. Yet you want everything else. Well, since you're not responsible, you might as well be wards of the state, because that's what you are. That's what the state has done. You have to go to court, and they'll tell you what to do and how to behave and give you rewards for your bad behavior, because they want to undermine every man. They want to undermine every family. They want to undermine the rule of law. They want to undermine the parents that the children need to have working together as a team for their benefit. The family upon which the nation rests. The families. They destroyed us. They knew they couldn't destroy us unless they went after the family, and they used you ladies to destroy the families. You tear down your own houses with your bare hands, just like it says in the scriptures. No, it's not me hating on women. It's me pointing out the facts and the truth. We need you, ladies. We need you to work with us. We need you to form the partnerships that we need. We need you for helpmates. We need you to help us to have a safe place for the children, to defend our children, to rear the next generation through which we have our eternal life. It took a lot of people for me to get here, just like it took a lot of people for you to get here. It wasn't just your parents. If you go further and further back, you'll realize there's huge numbers of men and women who have lived and died to get you here. We are obligated to live better, to be a reflection upon them, their sacrifices, and the fact that they were tough enough to survive long enough to give us birth, to give our parents birth. No, they didn't give us everything of what we needed. They didn't have it all to give to us. They failed us, just like that little bird I told you about. She made a nest of a certain size, and when her chicks got too big to stay in the nest, they got on the edge of the nest and still cried for food, and she kept feeding them until eventually they fell off the nest and fledged. They flew. Instinct kicked in, and they were flying. It was like, whoa, baby, I got wings. Hey, let's go get some food. I can feed myself. Let's go get some of, what was it Mom used to bring us? Let's go get some of that, or get some of the other stuff that she would bring us. And Dad would bring us some food too. Let's do that. Lorraine, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, I know you want to be pet. Oh, yes, give me a hug. I know, such a sweet girl. Yeah, such a pretty girl. Oh, yes. Oh, you want both hands on you. One hand's not enough. Okay. She's not spoiled. Oh, yes. Such a sweet girl. Oh, yes. Oh, well, what are you going to do, huh? That makes me feel like a little boy. I remember the puppy dog washing my face. I didn't like it very much then. I still don't like it much. But I know it means a lot to her, so I let her do it. And it makes me feel like a little boy for a few seconds, so I'm all for it. She bumped my little desk here. Oh, yes, you're a good girl. Lay down. Lay down. Down? Yes. I'll pet you. Just put. Oh, yes. The weather's better, and I'm going to take her for a little bit of a walk. I got up late breakfast. I got to do some work on the air conditioners and the roof and confirm some things. So I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that. I really don't trust other people to work on my rig hardly much. I can't afford it, for one. I got no money. That's all there is to it. You don't have any money either, because there's no real money anymore. I had money. Somebody relieved me of it, defrauded me. So I got to get on that task too. So that's on my long list of things to do. But I understand my fate was to get this old rig. It's got problems. I admit it, but I've got roof leaks coming. The Dicor that Hetzel's Apache Junction. Well, the technician did the running lights, and he didn't do a good job. That's going to leak. And the Sun manager, whatever it is, he did the skylight, and the Dicor wasn't thick enough. It's already given way, and so that's going to leak on me as well. Used to do good work, I thought, but maybe they were bad the entire time. I just don't know. I just know that they were bad this time. Lying in court, pressuring the hell out of me. Afterwards, not showing me what parts they were using, not asking me before they did the work, and then they go to the judge, and the judge is willing to accept their lies. That's okay. I'll go after a damn judge. I ain't afraid. I have tenacity, and I will stick with it. Yes, these judges all have to be tossed out anyway, so it's time you and I got to work and did that. The 13th Amendment is the law of the land, the original 13th Amendment, and there's no other amendments that are after that one, baby. You better accept it. You're going to tell me, oh, no, that'll never happen. That can't happen. It's going to happen. And the return to constitutional money, coined gold and silver, that has to happen too. And I know you're going to say, well, that'll never happen. Yes, it has to happen. Why? There will be no peace in this country until it does. We have to kick the bastards out, but they're going to give you the hardest police state they can. That's why you need your militias, local militia, buddies, people you know and trust and love, and you're willing to give your life up for, who's willing to sacrifice for you. Your brothers in arms who will stand there with you. They will. Old Glory was pretty gory. Old Glory required a lot of adrenaline. We men can do that. But the women are busy getting in our way, stopping us. They don't want to fight. They don't understand. They think they can just push us around and push us into doing what's not right, what's not good. And that's just too bad. Men, you have to say no. And you have to be willing to walk. If she's not going to respect you, she's never going to love you. So walk. Let her prove herself. I'm not going to defend him. Not unless they start watching my back too. Not unless they start looking out for my best interest. Not unless they actually will listen to me. And if I tell her to duck, just duck. Don't ask me why, as a 300 Winchester Magnum bullet is heading towards your head. If I say duck, just do it. Just duck. Don't question it. Don't challenge me. If I tell you not to do something, there's a reason for it. You have to know me so well that you know what I really want, what I really intend, and what I'm trying to convey to you. Because we may be in a situation that is so dangerous, I can't utter it, lest the enemy that's present among us head us both off and kill us both. And our children. What do you want? You want somebody to protect you, but you're going to ride my ass? You're going to dominate me, and you want me to sacrifice my life to defend what? An irritating bitch who wants to argue under the same roof? No thanks. I'd rather be off in a tent. I'm not going to argue with you. Bye. It's really simple. Okay. I told you we needed to talk, and now I'm wondering what was so important. Kind of reminds me of the old Sunday talks that those two women gave me that were trying to dominate me. The first one was severely abused. Severely abused. She had no idea what she was doing. And she moved on to another man. And I think this other man was much better for her. He was a good guy. I actually liked him, but he didn't like me. He listens to her. You got to understand something. We men need to be able to talk one-on-one. We need to be able to have a little bit of respect and have a good understanding so we can manage our wives, manage our families. And if that family or that woman, if that horse won't load, get rid of it. It's not domesticable. It's too much of a wild animal. It's vicious. It will turn upon you, and it'll take everything from you. It'll take more than half of your resources and make you the slave so you get to support them for the rest of your life, even if it means living out of your old car under a bridge somewhere. Judges don't care. They don't care what happens to us. That's why you don't get married and take a state license out. We didn't have state marriage licenses before World War II, in case you're wondering. We didn't need them. We were married under the churches, in the churches. And your marriage license was the family Bible. You walked in and it said when you were married and the date. And that was the evidence of your marriage. Remember what I said. 2 words are missing in the Bible. And your desire shall be to rule over. Yeah, it's 3. To rule over. Okay. I can't count. Well, the word was your desire shall be for your husband. Your desire shall be to rule over your husband. May Yahweh bless you. I don't know if I'm doing you much good. I'm trying to get knowledge and information out there as fast as I can, because I may be struck down. I might get hit with a goddamn cruise missile in the middle of the country. Or there's other fates that Sirius Singh Sahib told me await me. Okay, fine. He didn't tell me the full picture, so I'm not afraid. When I die, I have to go. I'm the only one. As Jimi Hendrix said, I'm the only one that has to die when I die. Yeah. Life is short enough. I don't want to live as a coward. I do not want to go out on my knees. That may happen. That may be the way it happens for all I know. I want to go out standing up. You know, these sons of a bitches can kill the body. But the problem is right now they're killing the soul. They've got us all marginalized. They have us going against Yahweh's laws. We can't do that. We can't exist without having a relationship with Yahweh. Yahweh wants that relationship. Yes, it's an individual one-on-one relationship. And don't worry about it. He's got enough processing power to handle us all. I think I told you about the hole in heaven that fellow I met told me about. Wow, what a story. This life probably is just a figment of our imaginations, and it certainly is an illusion. It certainly is a mystery. It certainly is marvelous in many ways. But as I get older, I learned to discipline myself more, and I wish I could discipline myself more. I wish I'd have done it sooner. Would have had a better life. Mine was a little on the rough side. Even my mother acknowledged that. What she didn't acknowledge and didn't realize and didn't understand is that she was part of the problem. It's because she was too busy being too harsh on my father which she visited on her oldest son as well. She was too harsh with me. Men have to say no. That's right. Say no. Make her earn your love. If she's not going to respect you, she's not going to love you. And when we cave in, she doesn't respect us, so she loses her love for us. And then she decides to move on. She needs a monkey higher up on the tree to branch up to monkey branch to. She's always looking at the other opportunities because she is the predator. And they don't understand men very well because we men can love at first sight. And they're like, no, you don't love me. You don't love me. You don't care for me. They don't understand us. We're pretty simple. But we have to treat them a little bit stridently in order to save the relationship and keep it going. So if they don't want to abide by the law that you set down for the house, the direction you give for the house, then walk away. If she wants to argue with you, walk away. If she insists that you have to have some sort of talk and is going to try to get violent with you, and that's what happened with the first one, by the way, she was really something. Walk away. Remember, she has 16 times the nerve strength that you and I have. I think she's capable of a far larger jolt of adrenaline than you or I either, which means she's quite a bit more dangerous than what you think. She's not timid and precious. They'd like to be held that way and esteemed that way. And as much as I can say somebody's precious, I also realize they're dangerous too. They'll take everything from you. They will lie to the police and put your ass in prison. They will go off and screw with somebody else and have that man's child and lie and tell you it's yours. 30% paternal fraud. 30% of all babies today, paternal fraud. Paternity fraud. Should that not be? Well, it is fraud. Should it not be a crime? Should it not be a felony? I think it should be. When women's sexuality becomes unbridled, that society disappears from the face of the earth. That's what happens. We start catering to them, and there's a pattern to this, and we end up doing what Yahweh doesn't want. We worship the Queen of Heaven. Another thing that occurs when you're taken into captivity is preceded by political correctness, so that you don't know the truth and you can't think, and they can take advantage of you. We have got that going. We had that going for quite a while. The other thing Yahweh doesn't like is that when we put a woman out of the house, when we divorce her, we're not allowed to take her back in. But yet here we are, slipping and sliding into bed with our old husbands and wives all over the place. Because it's familiar and it's comfortable. Don't do it. He doesn't like that either. That's one of the things you only get when you really read the Bible, and it's in two of the major prophets. And the land shall spew you out. You will go into captivity. It's all laid out for us to read and us to comprehend if we press into it. But as my buddy says, and I'll pull this up again just to take a look at it. This was his message this morning, and it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Come on. This is from a woman. He's sharing the wisdom of this woman. That was posted September 18th. September 2018. Whites don't get anything from being tolerant. There are no benefits to anti-racism. These things just create a culture where the wholesale replacement of whites can be accomplished without dissent. It's a way of pushing people to extinction and have them smile and cheer about it. That's what's happening to all of Western civilization. And these bastards get up on with their pulpits and they say that we are Amalek and that Amalek must perish. And they're going to do it. And in order for their Jewish Messiah to show up, Christians have to be defeated and scourged from the earth. And Muslims have to be defeated and scourged from the earth. Now, the Muslims are our half-brothers. That's right. Generally speaking, they are from Ishmael. And there was nothing wrong with Ishmael. And I don't think there's anything wrong with Islam or Muslims. I just think that they should be on their side of the border. It's a political movement. Let them get out of my country. You can visit once in a while. We can be friends. We can do business. We ain't going to intermarry. And we aren't going to abide by your laws. We have our own law. And when you're in our land, you're going to be abiding by it. And we'll treat you as best we can as a guest. But I don't want you building your mosques here. I don't want any cathedrals here. They were all built on sins. Listen to my other video. I want a Bible reading population, a Bible believing and adhering group of believers who are lifting themselves up by their bootstraps, who are improving themselves purposely by turning to Yahweh and begging Yahweh to straighten their asses out. Yahweh, help me repent. My faith isn't very perfect. Shore me up. Yahweh, show me your will. Give me the resources so I can do and perform your will. And forgive me when I screw up and when I don't obey your voice, when I question it. I'm still a babe when it comes to the Holy Spirit. Yes, me, ancient old buzzard Dr. Kent, the old eagle. That old bird that's stuck walking around right now because he can't fly. That's right. He's got to molt and he's got to shed the old stuff. And it's a tough call. It's a tough thing to do. And then he will spread his wings once anew with new feathers and a new beak and new talons and new knowledge. Read the Bible. Get one of my Bibles. You can either do it through the links on the internet. If you see the name Kent, it's a 4-letter word, 1 syllable. That's all it is. Then you know that I get a little bit of a credit for it and you're getting the lowest price available. However, I have to admit that it's available freely electrically, and we made that available for the people in Africa because shipping to Africa costs more than the books themselves. So we made that available publicly, and I realize it's kind of an infringement on copyright, but the mission is far more important than the profits. So do buy my Bible because it helps us so that we can publish more, print more. May Yahweh bless you. I'm just under the hour.